It's week 19 in the final round of the 2019 Major League Rugby regular season, and it's all on the line as the homestanding Toronto Arrows clash with Rugby United New York. Both teams have everything to play for today as they look to cement their spots in next week's semi-finals. We take a look at the standings. San Diego has punched their card into the semi-finals, and there are positions 2 to 5 vying for 3 spots, all tied on 53 points. What this means for this match is the tiebreaker will be important. Essentially, both Toronto and Rugby New York have more wins and have a greater points differential than New Orleans or Seattle. So a loss with 2 bonus points could see them advance into the semi-finals. The rest of the matches this weekend. Critical match for San Diego. It's a must-win situation for NOLA. New Orleans must beat San Diego to advance into the semi-finals. And then later today, we have Seattle playing Austin, a winless Austin side. Seattle should have little trouble putting away. Welcome everyone to Lamport Stadium. I'm James Patterson, joined alongside Kit McConaughey. Kit, the last time these two teams met, New York came away victors 24 points to 21. How do they stack up today?
Well, 2 evenly matched teams should be a great matchup, and it's a very simple win and you're in for these 2 teams. We take a look at the keys to the match. First for the home team, the scrum, always an advantage for the Arrows in momentum. By far the hottest team in the league, having won 6 in a row. The only loss way back on April the 7th. And for the Arrows, just keep the status quo, continue to do what they've been doing, winners of the last 6. For the visitors, Rugby United New York, the lineouts will be key. The best team in the league when it comes to this set piece field position. Also something they dominate in turnovers. Rugby United New York turns the ball over more than Toronto. They don't force nearly as many turnovers as the Arrows do, so they're going to have to be very careful with ball in hand. Take a look at the key players for our matchup today. First for the home team, the Uruguayan fullback, the reigning Major League Rugby Player of the Week in round 18, lightning in a bottle last week. 2 tries, 92 meters on 5 carries in the blowout over the Raptors. They're going to have to figure out a way to slow down Gaston Mieres. On the other end, it's the hooker, man with one of the best nicknames in all of sports, the Butcher, Dylan Fawcett. He has been a consistent force all year long. He had 14 carries, 72 meters, and 8 tackles in the victory over New Orleans. He's going to be the key man for Rugby United New York.
Time for a short break. When we come back, we'll have lineups and kickoff between the Arrows from Canada and Rugby United from the United States.
Once again, Miss Susie Mancini.
Welcome back to Week 19 action here in Lamport Stadium as the Toronto Arrows taking on Rugby United New York. Let's look at the Toronto Arrows rosters, brought to you by the Globe and Mail.
James, only one change in the match day 23 for Toronto. Jamie McKenzie back from injury, returns to scrum half, taking the place of Andrew Ferguson, who heads to the bench. A very talented front row, Brower, Quatron, Mitchell, maybe the best in Major League Rugby. Combine that with a very potent back line, Leivas, Miras, and more.
And looking at this New York United roster, there's been a late change, which will see Mark O'Keefe be ruled out right before kickoff. And you're going to see Christopher Madner stepping into number 13 position. Other than that, only one change from last week. You're going to see Trevor Cassidy coming in for Alexander McDonald. We're going to go down to the third member of our broadcast crew, Sarah Davis.
Thanks, James. So, of course, today, such a big game for both sides. And as I was watching warm-ups, I saw Captain Dan Moore for the Arrows. He gathered his team in a circle. And I later asked Lucas Rummel, what was that all about? And he said, that is more getting the team together, reminding them what their job is today, what to focus on, and what to think about as they're getting warmed up before the kickoff here today. Now, Lucas and Dan both have captained their university team at Queen's, which is just east of here in Toronto. They know each other really, really well. They play together in the Beaches, which is also here in Toronto. And Lucas said that their captaining styles are actually quite different. Lucas is more big picture, more emotional, whereas Dan is very organized and detail-oriented, and they complement each other in the perfect way. And he also said that they can be very honest with each other, as can everybody on this team. Lucas telling me that if you can't be honest with each other, then there's no place for you on this team, as of course they all have the same goal here today, and that's to win and secure a playoff spot in their inaugural season.
Thank you, Sarah. As we're going to see referee Elgin Williams, the Welshman, in the middle of the field, and it will be Cahill Marsh to kick us off in what is sort of a de facto quarterfinal, a huge match.
James, you're exactly right saying this is a de facto quarterfinal. It's very simple here on Super Sunday. Either of these teams win, they will be in the playoffs. If they lose, chances, well, this may be their last match of the 2019 season.
Yes, it will. As you see, Toronto, very good. Kicking in play, puts up a nice high contestable kick as McKenzie is taken well at the back. Good strong carry. Ball is available for Petrie. Quill tucks and goes. This Arrows defense, though, very solid. Good white wall there. Working the ball across on the sideline.
We saw it last week from Toronto in that victory over Glendale. The defense, so impressive. All the talk about the backs, what they're able to do with ball in hand, but the defense has really been the key to their success this season.
Massive hit from Quatron. Pins him right back, but Cahill Marsh stepping through. Can he find support? They're in behind the line here. They want to play quickly.
Not rolling.
And they've got a penalty advantage. Houston!
Number 9.
Finds support. That is Brower, the big man. Quill goes into play halfback. They've got numbers to burn. St. Clair chooses to tuck and go. Working the ball nicely. Good strong carry. And taken out of touch. Referee said advantage was over, but good passage of play from New York.
Very much so. It's exactly what you want to see if you're a Roosters fan. Rugby United going through the phases. Good work, ball in hand. You saw Ross Deacon, the number 8, a good run right through the heart of that Arrows defense. Marsh doing the same. Very talented side, and this is what they want to do. They want to play fast, put pressure on the Arrows defense.
Just receiving some attention on the sideline. Yeah, playing quick's important. Toronto is very good if they have a structured line.
You take another look here, Marsh, the Irishman, breaking through.
More space, please.
The fly half, a great run. And that's the key for Rugby United New York, James. Playing fast. If Toronto has time to get organized defensively, if they can get that line, get numbers to the ball, we saw it against Glendale, we've seen it all season. If they can get the white wall organized, difficult to break through.
So Quatron will have the throw. Good line out for this Toronto side. 82% for the season so far.
Set pieces have been huge for the Arrows, and credit not just Quatron in the line out, but what he, Brower, Mitchell have been able to do in all set pieces.
He was taken in the air, so it will be a full arm penalty. That was Moonlight. The firefighter now, Moonlight, such a good player. He's had 65 tournaments and 23 caps for 15s. Impressive.
Johnny Moonlight, well, the answer to the trivia question for all Arrows fans. Who scored the first ever Toronto try in Major League Rugby? Who else but the firefighter, John Moonlight?
And a great clearing kick. It pushes the Arrows up towards halfway.
Yeah, beautiful stuff right there. Able to put switch field position.
Line short, spread out.
This is where Toronto's dangerous, slowing things down, really playing their pattern, using the big men up front.
Let's be a bit more generous, please.
Quadrant to throw. Well taken. Good flat ball.
Off his knee.
Came off his knee. Referee says play on, but is scooped up at the back. Well done by Deacon. Force it, diving, trying to play. This is enterprising rugby, dangerous rugby.
Okay, knock on.
And it was knocked on, a little messy there.
It was indeed, and you said enterprising. That's it. Both teams content to play a bit helter-skelter.
No, it's here, yeah. It was off his knee over there. Knee shim.
So it came off the knee of Shepard originally, but then the knock on. And you see it here. Marsh able to find himself as Deacon there. Marsh on the spot, tried to go between the legs, looking for any opening. In the first scrum of the match, we'll see how this Roosters scrum is able to pair with the power up front for Toronto.
Straight long binds, okay?
It's a tasty proposition watching this Arrows scrum. They absolutely have demolished teams this season.
It's been incredible, and obviously the men on the front row, but also Shepard and Cellini there, the second rowers doing great work, maybe stuff that doesn't make the stat sheet.
Set.
A huge part of the success for Toronto has been due to their dominance in the scrum.
Use it stationary.
Well done. Deacon picks up at the back. Deacon, he's a big man. He takes off downfield, taking 1 or 2 players with him. Again, choosing to go quickly around the breakdown.
Tackle release, 7.
You've already seen a few big carries from Deacon inside, trying to punish that Arrows defense.
Strong carry into the middle. That was Cassidy. A little slow here, though. The Arrows are on the front foot. Look to cut back inside with Leonard.
Quick ball, so important for New York. Getting to the breakdown. They want that ball out in 3 seconds or less.
They do. Marsh moving the ball. Man, a strong tackle was Foden. It is Dan Moore with the final tackle as you see Petrie. Quill running at the line. Just breaking the gain line. Building phases. There's Marsh. Good, strong, straightening run in the midfield by Brower. The ball is still available. Looked like a little forward pass.
Mate, I'm happy.
Referee says he's happy with it. Not much going here for this New York attack. Very good defense from the Arrows.
Like the patience from New York, though. Not a lot of room. Just keeping ball in hand. No handling errors.
Great option, and that's St. Clair down the sideline. And he will score in the right-hand corner. It was a great play, choosing to go back down the blind side. The experience of Mike Petrie, and New York draw first blood.
And James, you can credit that to the patience of New York, taking their time, not forcing anything, and then able to find the space up top. They had the blind side, Mike St. Clair, the right wing. You see the men in white sucked in, good passes out quickly, beautiful ball out to St. Clair. It came from Houston, the outside flanker, and St. Clair, no trouble, in for 5.
Just patience. They've showed good patience. They went 10, 12 phases, and that's what you have to do. And it's typical of this New York side. They'll starve you of possession. On the season so far, 55% possession and 54% territory. They're going to make you have to score because you're not going to get the ball off them.
That's exactly right. That's a great point. They like to keep ball in hand. They are patient. That's what you have to do against a team as good defensively as Toronto. They've seen other teams that have been a bit impatient. They've turned it over, handling errors, mistakes. Rugby United New York knows they just go through the phases. And a great start for the visitors.
We see Cahill Marsh, the 27-year-old from Dublin, Ireland. Former U20 player for Ireland. Pushes that one. And it is through, so they do convert. It's 7 points to 0. Rugby United New York, the early lead.
Dream start for the Roosters. Doing everything right. Starving possession from Toronto. And Toronto has yet to really see the ball.
We're going to go down to Sarah Davis on the sideline.
Yeah, I will. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, so I know New York getting a great start here, but the Arrows have some good luck on their side because Spencer Jones' parents are here from New Zealand, flying all the way. They came to last week's game. It's Allison and David Jones. So they came to last week's game. They're here today to cheer on Spencer, who was actually born in Canada, in Edmonton, Alberta, but he moved to New Zealand with his family in 2012, and that's really where he got his rugby training. So he scored a big try against San Diego a few weeks ago, and it was described as a try that only a mother could love, and she sure did. So we're hoping for more of that today, guys.
Great. Nothing like a mother's motivation in a big game. The man from Cambridge down in New Zealand.
I hope his parents stayed the week. You know how long that flight is from the States down to the land of Oz, or down to New Zealand, I should say. So hope they stayed the week, enjoyed some time with their son, and I know he's very happy to have them watching what he hopes will not be his final match of the season.
I'm sure they're enjoying some nice weather. It's cracking conditions today for this encounter. So a little bit of back and forth play going on there. It is still Rugby United New York with a 7-point lead. Now, how good have this Toronto Arrows side been at home?
They've been outstanding, just one loss. They have won 6 in a row, the hottest team in Major League Rugby, and the one loss, that was their first home match to them, the league leaders in NOLA Gold. They lost by a last-second try. NOLA was able to get that 35-31 victory, able to find the in-goal area the final second of the match. But with that exception, they have been outstanding here north of the border, have the Arrows.
We see another good shot of that scrum. Here's Mitchell, the man, the Southland Stag.
Use it.
What a story is Mitchell, overcoming all kinds of issues to continue his professional rugby career.
Both at fault. As agreed, long pitches, okay?
Yes, and the Southland Stags have a great following, so I'm sure there's a few people tuned in down in Invercargill.
Okay?
If I'm not mistaken, you played against his brother.
Played with his brother. Braden Mitchell at the Highlanders is a good man, and it's a great story. Excellent stories with Morgan Mitchell, sorry.
Crouch.
This is really where Toronto needs to bow their neck and show the advantage and the power they have in the scrum, trailing early, 10 minutes in.
Elbows up.
There's that powerful scrum, and they do draw the penalty. What a scrum from the Arrows.
That's exactly what they needed right there. The men in white up front, all power. They've been brutalizing that scrum machine all season long. And when it comes to the matches on the weekend, they are ready to go. Great work from the Toronto scrum. Win the penalty, and a chance to send this one out into touch to improve their field position.
He's come up into pressure.
The Arrows choosing not to go for points. Interesting, because Malcolm, he's had the most attempts of any kicker, and they've actually used the penalty to their advantage. 18 penalties so far this season.
They have, and generally early in matches when points have been up for offer, they've taken them off the boot of Sam Malcolm. The fly half so accurate, able to split the uprights. But I think in this situation where they haven't seen a lot of possession, trailing 7-0, they want a chance to tie.
Quattrin with the throw.
Fair competition.
It is stolen. Wallace Sims bangs one down off the left foot. Able to relieve some pressure. The ball is able to bounce. There's Mears. Back to Moore. Moore has a go on the outside. He's got support and numbers there. Levis flying down the sideline is Jones. Will he score at home? Throws the miracle ball and just forward.
Just forward indeed, and that was a great sequence from Toronto. Started with Meires, on to the captain Moore. Leandro Cololevas had a fantastic run and a beautiful offload. But just forward the pass from Spencer Jones, the outside center. You see it here. He was looking for McKenzie, and that's difficult to tell from that angle.
But he didn't need to pass. His momentum would have carried him across the goal line there. Nevertheless, great counter-attack. That's the experience of Dan Moore. Such a good player.
Well, the captain, the native son of Toronto, what it means to him to be representing his hometown. He leads by example, a great man in the community out there.
Crouch.
This is a big scrum for this New York side. You can imagine the pressure's going to be massive from the Arrows pack.
Hold.
Petrie does feed. Pops out the back. It is messy. Referee says it is out. The Arrows are piling it over the top.
Thank you.
York desperately trying to regather this. It is Foden at the back. Foden will have to box kick. And just able to relieve some pressure, but it goes straight down the throat of Meares. Meares finds support. Playing out the back, Malcolm. Dutois, Jones runs into a solid tackle from Leonard. Hopping around the corner. Good carry. That was Campbell. Flicks it on the inside. There's Moonlight. They're in the middle of the field, moving the ball well. McKenzie. Malcolm. Jones. Meares tries to free the arms. And it was just knocked forward again. This Arrows attack is on fire.
Great work from Toronto. Second time they've had the ball deep in New York territory, inside the 5, and second time they've been unable to come away with points. You see the reigning player of the week in Major League Rugby, and great work from behind. The tackle there from Mike St. Clair, the man who scored the only try thus far. Maybe a try-saving tackle.
Definitely a try-saving tackle, and it was an aggressive tackle. He drove the legs, which meant that Meares couldn't free his arms because there was unmarked on the outside. Cahill Marsh actually came in and double tackled, so no one was on the outside.
Great job executing the scouting report for the Roosters. They know how talented Leivas, Meares, and more are. They're not giving them opportunities to get up to speed. When they receive the ball, they're United in New York jerseys there quickly to make this stop.
Crouch.
They're going to need a tidier scrum, though, if they're going to have any chance of relieving some of this pressure.
Set.
Petrie to feed. Better scrum this time from New York. Deacon picks down the blind side.
Nothing there, play on. Back foot. Stay there.
Petrie. Nice strong carry from Cassidy. Ball is back. Foden with a long kick towards the halfway line. It doesn't go out, so let's see what Meares can do. Little shake and bake. Runs into a good tackle from Quill.
Tackle.
McKenzie probing down the blind side. Threw out the arm there. Could have been a penalty.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit surprised that wasn't the call in that situation.
Both sides choosing to probe down the blind side. It's a good tactic, especially on a warmer day like today. People are going to be a little bit slower getting up off the ground.
Now the line out for Toronto, one they need to take cleanly. They've had forays deep into Roosters territory, but have been unable to reward themselves with points.
It is Andrew Quattrin, the 22-year-old from Holland Landing, Ontario. Able to find support at the back, and he is offside, force it. So they do have a free play here. They go around the back. Excellent work. Levis trying to free the arms to Moore, and it will go to the corner, and Moore will score. Toronto answers right back.
It's an Arrows tie by the
It's Dan Moore, the captain, with the try, but give Colo Leivas, the Uruguayan left wing, a ton of credit. A beautiful run. He drew the defender, was able to get his hands free, made a difficult pass on to Moore. And Moore, no trouble across. And the conversion pending, a chance to tie it up. You see it again here. Great look. And Colo Leivas, tough running, something that he is known for, the Uruguayan. And look at this pass, going down, still able to get the offload. Nothing Leonard could do about that.
So hard to defend against a 10 that throws a good ball at the line. Jones came in, but for me, it was the run from Meares. He came in tight, froze the winger, and it was a 2-on-1 with a fullback at the end.
Well, that's exactly right. Meares, he's such an intelligent player. He has the IQ, and even if he doesn't have ball in hand, he figures out a way to get involved. He did so right there. They know what he can do. The focus on Meares, that freed things up for his teammates.
As we see Sam Malcolm, man from Wanganui, New Zealand, former Manawatu Turbo. Very good off the boot. Malcolm's kick, flirting with the left-hand upright. It is unsuccessful. 7 points to 5. Rugby United New York leading the Toronto Arrows.
And a rare miss from a man who has been absolutely outstanding. And you see how close it is. That one almost kisses the upright as it heads out. So the 2-point lead remains intact for Rugby United New York, and that is a big miss there. A match as tightly contested as this one will no doubt be.
Cahill Marsh kicking the ball deep. Well taken at the back. Good, strong carry by Campbell. McKenzie choosing to play out the back. Good option.
Good.
Needs to stay in bounds, and it does. Wallace Sims. He's got Foden with him. Slides through the tackle. Good tackle from Quatrin. Probing back down the blind side again. Leonard.
Side entry.
An incorrect entry there from the Arrows player. So, no, it was. In fact, it looked like it was forced.
Side entry, poacher on top of the ball.
So another opportunity for this Arrows side to be able to pin Rugby United deep in their own territory.
Another opportunity indeed, as they will give it to Malcolm and see if he can put this one on a dime. And Toronto there maybe catching a break, as we thought it was side entry from the Arrows. Instead, it'll be on Fawcett. So a big opportunity for the Arrows, and maybe a chance to take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, when Leonard stepped in there, actually stepped away from the support. It was a difficult position. He needed to get a roll on the ground to buy some time. He wasn't able to do it. And now the Arrows dominating territory. Another great attacking opportunity.
After having very little possession in the first 10 minutes, Toronto starting to find their pattern. This is where they want to be.
Here's Dutois. Kenzie coming around the corner as Campbell. Good strong run by Campbell as he breaks the advantage line. A little untidy. Medes flicks it behind his back. Levas. There's Shepherd. Just lowers the shoulder. Good patient attack here. And there's Mitchell. Mitchell scored one from a similar position last week, but he's met in a solid tackle by Brower. Just probing down the blind side. The winger getting involved. That's Levas.
No hands. Advantage, high tackle.
That is a penalty advantage, so let's see what the Arrows can do. They've got a free play here. Brower tucks and goes up the middle. Quatrin.
Keep back.
Here's Mitchell. Referee still playing advantage. Campbell met in a crunching tackle by Brackley. Being patient here. This is good attack. That's Cellini.
Ball clear. Let go of him, 12.
Working towards the goalpost. Oh, brilliant magic! What a try. Spencer Jones. Take a bow. Jamie McKenzie. That was tasty rugby.
Absolutely outstanding. Jones with the try. But Jamie McKenzie, the scrum half, remember, he's the only change today in the starting 15 as he has come back from injury, taking over his number 9 shirt from Andrew Ferguson, and there has been no let-off. You wondered if it would take any adjustment for McKenzie. He's been outstanding early on. A beautiful ball out to Jones. You see it right here. Outstanding from Spencer Jones, and the reaction from Ben Foden, nothing Rugby United New York could do there.
Conversion attempt is successful. 10 points to 7.
All good?
That was great rugby, and it looks like we will have a short hydration break. We'll be right back. The Toronto Arrows leading Rugby United New York 12 points to 7.
Yeah, I'm going to get first chance of going there, mate. So what's the issue? How long you got?
Sorry?
How long you got?
Just whenever the TV comes in and says, time
Let's
to
go.
go. However many advertisements they decide to.
Good. Right. Let's get cracking. See ya. The reason there's a poacher there, I had to. Yeah, you're coming up from that angle. I've got no choice.
Welcome back to Lamport Stadium for Week 19 action as the Toronto Arrows lead Rugby United New York 12 points to 7. Huge match in terms of the standings, Kit.
And win and you're in. It is that simple. If you're able to get a victory today, you will be one of the final 4 teams joining San Diego, the only team to have booked their spot in the semifinals. And a great start. First 20 minutes highlight real rugby from both sides.
Yeah, both teams have done their homework. They're choosing to probe around the fringes of the breakdown. Doing well. Just trying to get past the gain line.
James, we talked about the keys and momentum, certainly one of them for Toronto, the hottest team in the league, having won 6 in a row, and they're continuing today. The confidence, you see it from the men in white, just brimming with confidence.
It was a nice little kick by McKenzie over the top. You noticed St. Clair was up. The ball is with New York. Rushing up on defense. Good job, though.
Scrum advantage over.
Working the ball out wide. Here's Foden. Let's see what he can do. Gained a lot of meters this season, 1,107 meters so far this season. Definitely a feature in their game.
And Foden may be the best CV of any man in Major League Rugby. Has not had a chance to get involved in this one much for Rugby United.
Good defense again from the Arrows. They like playing defense on the front foot as Cahill Marsh throws up and under. Well taken, though, by Levas. He does very well at the back there. Here's Malcolm playing out the back. They're playing with an air of confidence, this Arrows side. Mitchell, charging run. Tries to find the offload to Shepherd. The ball is still available. Playing quickly here are the Arrows. Still have numbers. It has slowed down, though.
Keep working.
Just wearing down this Rugby United defensive line. Building phases nicely. Options available on the blind side. And there is St. Clair. Read it like a book. He's able to pick that off and relieve some pressure. Yeah, an incorrect entry there.
You've gone through the side.
Looked like it was Levis.
Great interception from Mike St. Clair. The initial try scorer just saw that one in too much time. McKenzie not quite sure where he wanted to sit. It was looking for Malazzo, and that gave St. Clair plenty of time to make the interception.
A chance, really, for the first time for this New York side to get down inside Arrows territory.
The first 10 minutes, possession dominated by New York. The second 10, it was Toronto. And New York looking to get back on the front foot.
The confidence with this Arrows defensive line is playing is very impressive. They've got to go back to what they did at the beginning. They've got to build phases. They can't bring that aggression phase after phase on defense.
No, they know they need to be patient. Play the way they did early on, force the errors.
And that is a costly error. That was Ross Deacon coming onto the ball. Just an unforced error and a chance for the Arrows to get back down the other end of the field.
Deacon, the number 8, who was with Austin Elite last year. He's been one of the key players this season for Rugby United. A rare handling error from Deacon.
Spent some time over in Ireland, did Deacon, a USA under-20 player. But it looks like New York's actually going to get the feed to the scrum.
Interesting there. We thought it was going to be on Deacon. And actually happy to have it ready to feed it in.
A little bit of a blind side here.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay straight.
Get you to feed. Better scrum this time from this New York side. Looking to go down the blind side, they go. Here is Foden. Little jink and jive. Still making meters. Taken by McKenzie in the end. Good strong carry by Quill. Pops it up to Petrie. But this Arrows defense coming up. Swarming defense. Pushing this New York side backwards.
Brower, the youngster on that front row, leading by example.
Here's Rockford. To Quill. Quill pushed through the tackle by Leonard. This is better stuff from New York. Building phases. It's Paddy Ryan. Mitchell coming strong off the line there. The two front lows combining. Brower and Mitchell
Your players on
slowing
top
down
of
the
it.
ball.
Can't do anything. Play it or scrum.
It's Marsh spinning through the tackle. Was Houston.
Okay, we've got two players flying off feet.
And they penalty against them. Two players diving right over the top.
Off feet. Just a mistake that New York cannot make. They were doing a good job. They were putting pressure on Toronto. Now the turnover via the error. You see it right here. Now an easy spot there from the official.
It's the old matador. Shepherd set up like he was going to clean out. He did the old 1-2 jumperoo
Away and right through went Matna.
Line's yours again, please.
There's a great mixture of young talent and veteran leadership on this Arrows side. We talked about Brower, 36 years young, the Lindsay, Ontario native, the oldest Canadian debut for the national team. And spoke with him earlier this season, said if you consider retirement, he said, if I make the national team for the Rugby World Cup in Japan, then I'll think about it. But I have a feeling that won't be the case. And
let's get the ball in.
it's great when you have that mixture of youth and experience. As a younger player, having older players like that with the test experience is a massive, massive boost to you.
You got Brower, Shepherd, players of that caliber that have been around, have seen it all.
Right foot, please. Thank you.
Here's Quattrin to throw. They've gone for the short line out. It looked like a lot of miscommunication there. It was a bit of a tango dance. Everyone was heading every direction. Miscommunication.
That's exactly what it was. Brower speaking with Cellini after the fact. No one quite knew what they were supposed to do. No one on the same page. And it's rare for Toronto. They've been so good in the set piece. You saw it right there. Brower not expecting that ball to find him via the line out.
Perhaps he's trying to do too much. We know Nate Brakely is very good. He's up there in the top 5, at least in the league, in terms of line-out steals. Trying to get around him there. Just simple line-out play might have been the better option.
I think you're right, Brakely. Part of that engine room, so good in the set piece.
Set! Hold the weight!
Maybe his reputation preceding him a bit there.
Far side, reset.
As we see on the left-hand side, this is quite a tasty matchup. Morgan Mitchell seems to have had the better of Rockford so far.
That's a great matchup. The tight head for the Arrows, loose in Rockford for Rugby United. And Rugby United has a great front row in their own.
Same standards, far side,
Rockford,
please.
Fawcett, and Paddy Ryan. And you know they're tired of hearing about the Arrows scrum. They want to prove themselves.
Bind! Set!
See Mike Petrie, captain from the side, an accomplished author.
Okay,
he
not
wrote
stable.
a great children's book, R is for Rugby. That's one I read my
We're
little
both
man
grabbing
every
across.
night.
Let's do the scrum
Trying to
again.
influence his sport choice a little bit at a young age. But
Just a bit.
Let's hook it.
Petrie's so
Let's find
impressive, his
position where we're
career, what
comfortable
he's been
and
able to
maintain,
do, the
okay?
veteran.
Nothing else.
You mentioned also talented off the pitch as well. And you see that from some of these young men. You see them business degrees, some of them in graduate school. Moonlight, obviously a firefighter, and sometimes almost more impressive what they do off the pitch than on it.
And being able to manage that workload and the workload of being a professional athlete, you really got to tip your hat to these players in this competition.
Absolutely.
Set! Hold!
We got a great shot of the crowd there. The crowd has come in today in downtown Toronto. What a fantastic facility this is. As we see another strong scrum by the Arrows. Ball is available and playable. Marsh throwing a wide ball. Moving through the hands here is Foden. Wallace Sims met in a strong tackle on the outside. Frees the ball nicely. This is better rugby. But again, another unforced error.
Okay, knock-ons.
Beautiful from Rugby United. Going through the phases, the pass is accurate until that final knock-on. Trevor Cassidy, we mentioned one of the new additions this week in place of Alex McDonald on the second row, just unable to hold on.
Took a big shot as well. We'll see here. He was lifted. The players were calling that it was lifted in a dangerous tackle, and I do agree.
I think that's definitely the case. His opposite number, Mike Shepherd, bringing him off his feet and down to the tackle there.
World Rugby's new laws actually came out the other day on the new interpretations of it. And it's very, very strict on this. Anytime they're lifted and brought down to the ground, and then the legs get above vertical.
Oh, you'll hear no argument here. You look at the caliber of these athletes, as strong and as powerful as they are. Safety is always the paramount issue. Trying to extend players' careers. You want them to be playing as long as they possibly can. Trying to keep injuries at a minimum. The game will always be physical. It will always be high pace. But when you have a chance to cut down on unnecessary injuries in that situation, you certainly should.
So it looks like it will be New York's feed.
You mentioned the fans. There's been great support here for the Arrows. They had to wait 8 matches. Their first 8 matches all on the road. Difficult, obviously, at that time here in Ontario, under a few feet of snow. But ever since they've come home, the fan support has been outstanding.
Here's Petrie. Good strong scrum again. Forces Deacon to clean up at the back. He does nicely. Those players are offside. Petrie snipes a gap.
Back foot.
Taken by Moonlight. Wallace Sims comes in, and there's Fawcett. Try-scoring machine. 12 tries so far on the season. Marsh out the back. Good strong run by Leonard. Still going. Down towards the 22. Inside the 22.
Advantage not rolling.
And they do get the advantage.
Penalty advantage 12.
So they have a free play here. Let's see what they do. Force it out the back to Marsh. There's Ryan. Met in a strong tackle by Brower. Foden with the little chip over the top. Let's see where this ball goes. It's unkind, and yes, referee says that wasn't enough advantage. He'll come back for a penalty, but better play from this New York side.
Much better. We'll come back to the spot for the penalty. Toronto not doing themselves any favors.
Number 12 white.
Giuseppe Dutoit whistled for not rolling away the inside center. That was easy calls. He had the opportunity to roll away, chose not to. Foden mentioned his great career and what a coup it was for Rugby United New York to sign a player of his talent.
And Rugby United has another big signing coming next year. Matteo Bastareaud, one of the premier centres in world rugby, is going to grace the streets of New York. He is a big man and very difficult to tackle.
And starting to see some of these top caliber players electing to come. There's a chance to really put their mark on this fledgling league in year number 3.
Scrum advantage, knock on.
Great for the fans to see the improvement in talent year after year.
And another missed opportunity.
Scrum advantage over.
Unable to receive their own line out, but a huge kick that was, a massive kick down. And was it touched? It was touched, so it will be the Arrows. That was a 50-meter kick.
What a kick, an absolute boom from the in-goal area. St. Clair, I don't think he thought it was gonna reach it. He was not ready for it. You take another look, Sam Malcolm putting boot to ball in the most spectacular of ways, and now clearly touched by St. Clair. He knew it.
He was 7 meters in his own goal. That was a 65-meter kick. So another good attacking opportunity. Quatrin to throw. Well taken. McKenzie throws a flat ball. A little messy. Shepherd does clean up. Mitchell, another strong run.
12.
Cahill Marsh with the tackle. Jones.
Tackle release.
Trying to roll. Good play. Moonlight
tackle.
Runs into a solid tackle from Petrie. Probing back down the blind side, and here is Moore looking for touches. He loves to carry the ball. Houston with the tackle. The ball's still available in there. Cutting back on the inside is Dutoit. Throws an errant ball back, and Mitchell's having to get after it.
Scrum advantage, knock
Able
on.
to get the ball here is Petrie, and Petrie sees some space in behind, throws in a little kick, and referee says no advantage. It was a little knock on there.
And Mitchell, the knock on, the big front rower would have been better served, who just gotten on top of that one, tried to pick it up off his shoelaces, unable to do so. You see Mitchell back on it.
I'm coming
Kiwi
your side now,
clearly the knock on, the
if
pressure.
we need the rewards, we need to continue going straight and keep our feet strong beneath it.
Didn't need to throw the offload off the ground, did Dutoit.
But the
They're
ball
building
away,
position,
no effect
and
on
they're
play.
wearing out this defense. just trying to throw those 50-50 passes.
You've seen the handling errors. They've been self-inflicted, both these teams. When they've been patient, when they've kept the ball in hand, when they've made the easy pass, that's when they've looked the best.
Going in, under 5 minutes left in the first half. We mentioned this is a de facto quarterfinal. Important here because you've got to score a few more tries too if you're going to lose. 4 tries lost will get you that bonus point, and to lose within 7 will give you another bonus point. Another strong scrum, but referee says it was wheeled around. So a rare win for this Rugby United scrum.
Rugby United, if that's how they have to win, they will take it. Scrum wheeling around, gives it back to Foden. A chance to improve field position. Just about 4 minutes remaining in the half. And how big would a try here be for New York if they're able to retake the lead before they head to the sheds?
Be massive, and this is an area where New York are very good. They choose to maul off the back of the line out. Mauling off the back of the line out is incredibly hard to defend because you're rolling towards the backs.
He mentioned Fawcett, the butcher, the hooker, with his 12 tries. The majority of them have come off of those mauls, off of the line out. That's where he has really made his living this season.
As we see, choosing to go to the middle, it is untidy. The ball did go backwards, so Petrie finds Marsh. Leonard will just choose to run straight over the top of Dutois.
Back.
Still available there. There's Ryan, and he runs into his own player. Frustrations for this New York side.
Hands down, please.
And a little bit of argy-bargy. The emotions are high in this match.
There's now, fellas.
It looks like Quinn is copping a few jersey punches there.
You're done now. 6, you're done. Thank you.
Both teams know what's at stake. Their season on the line. See Foden and Mires enjoying themselves in their exchange.
It's always the outside back running at last. Just throw a few venom choice words that you see there, just running into his own player.
Back to that line there.
Indeed.
Thank you. Could you take him, please, Juan? Thank you. And I want you on the goal line, please.
An exception taken well after the whistle.
Yeah, we're both captains now. Captain?
Looked like both number 6s, Milazzo and Quill, got into it there.
It's a hell of a game so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's stick to the rugby.
Yeah.
I know our body's on the line. There's a lot of play today, okay? We stick to the rugby, keep the values, nothing else happens off the ball. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's
I want you to have 2 of your teams now, and then we'll restart the scrum to the knock-on.
Scrum to
Toronto. Okay, happy? Cheers, fellas. Okay.
Yeah, I like our referee, Elgin Williams, the Welshman, saying to keep the values so important to rugby. Doing a great job there, explaining things, settling down, giving both teams a chance to take a deep breath.
Okay, thanks, fellas. Knock on, scrum, Toronto ball.
So it will be a Toronto feed to the scrum. So much emotion in a match like this. You know, you look at this Arrows side, first year in the competition, wanting to make it to the playoffs, and same with this New York side, 2 first-year teams.
And if you look at the pundits earlier in the season, the preseason, they said both these teams had a chance to make the playoffs. They fully anticipated they would. And obviously, you had teams like Seattle, the defending champion, thought Glendale would be in the mix as well. Glendale knocked out in large part because of Seattle and Toronto.
McKenzie slides it off the side of the boot. Not able to relieve much pressure there. This pressure by Quill on the blind side.
Now, this bodes well for Major League Rugby to see these first-year franchises really in the mix. And to have 4 teams on the final day of the season with a chance to make the playoffs, you couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, we still got time.
See teams pushing deep, having that veteran experience, being able to handle pressure situations like this. And also when you've got a coach like Aaron Carpenter, he's been through the ringer a few times. High pressure environments, I'm sure he's been a calming influence on his team this week.
Most capped Canadian of all time. And you mentioned deep and being able to dig deep. Depth has been the key. It's been a success for both of these sides, having the depth, having 35 players that you could put into that 23 for match day.
It's your own man. It's your own
so we see Fawcett, the butcher, driving through there. Able to break up that maul. The ball is available though. Petrie marshalling his troops. Nice wide ball, round the back to Marsh. There's space on the outside here. Wallace Sims throws out the stiff arm, keeps going, he dives for the corner, and it will be the opposite winger, St. Clair. I think he dotted down there.
What a run from CWS. St. Clair able to get there and dot it down. Is he able to find the in-goal area? That's the question.
Any reason why I can't award a try? Yes, knock on. Okay, thank you. No try? So
Did come.
Scrum white ball.
Knock on, says our referee, Elgin Williams, after checking with his assistant. And look at the run from Connor Sims, absolutely bruising St. Clair. Oh, there it is, beautiful work. St. Clair had it, just couldn't hold it on. He was
we've still got about
half a meter away from dotting it down for 5.
Yeah, on my clock, yeah.
Those are those opportunities you have to capitalize on. He did a great job running around, and this New York side has found a lot of purchase when they've gone out the back and chose to attack wide. The Arrows are very strong on their interior defensive line.
This is probably going to be time fighters now.
You mentioned the scouting report. Rugby United has seen that. They know that going straight into the teeth is not going to be the key to success. It's getting it out wide and using their speed, and that's where they're going to find that open real estate.
Thank you. Yeah, it's time. It's time.
I'm speaking to the referee there. This will be the last play of the first half.
James, we anticipated a blockbuster matchup, and we've been treated to one here in the first 40 minutes.
Both teams' defense very good. The Arrows have the 3rd-ranked defense in the competition.
Bind!
And the 2nd-ranked defense,
Set!
Rugby United's.
Hold the weight!
This is exactly what we anticipated. And here's a strong set piece.
Stay straight!
At the back. Good stable platform. McKenzie
Stationary, use it!
frees the ball, and the ball is kicked out. That will be it. That will be it for half-time. So week 19, the Toronto Arrows leading Rugby United New York 12 points to 7. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
Please welcome to Arrows Rugby. Welcome this afternoon the Toronto Reds.
Welcome back to Lamport Stadium. It's 12 points to 7 as the Toronto Arrows lead Rugby United New York. We're going to go down to the third member of our broadcast crew, Sarah Davis, who has an Arrows player, Jack McRogers, with her.
Thanks, James. Yeah, here with Jack. And Jack, I just want to start off asking you about keeping the emotions in check, because we saw a bit of a, frustration boil over towards the end of that first half. But what do you guys do, or who has been a leader to stop you from getting too high, too low?
Yeah, we saw at the end there the little skirmish after that maul. We really look to our captains, so Dan Moore and Lucas Rumble. The boys love following them, and they do a great job. Sometimes we'll just bring it in, everyone take a deep breath and reset, and then go from there.
Okay, a little personal question here now. You're from just north of Toronto.
Yes.
You play at McMaster University, which is just kind of down the highway. What's this experience been like for you to play pro rugby essentially in your hometown?
To be honest, it's a dream come true to be able to live in Ontario and be able to play rugby and get some schooling at the same time. I can't ask for anything more, and doing it with really good guys, so I'm thrilled. Yeah.
And you mentioned to me that your dad is here today. He's a high school teacher. He brought about 30 players from his rugby team. What's the support been like for this team?
It's been unbelievable. We've had the rugby community out, but then my favorite thing is getting some non-rugby fans out, so it's really great to get new people out, and yeah, it's good to see my dad here in his high school.
Of course, we see a scrimmage behind us for the halftime. Now, just looking ahead to the game, of course, a win and you're in to the playoffs, which would be huge. What kind of challenges is New York posing for you guys right now?
Yeah, New York's a really good side. We've been focusing all week on, we know they're really good off their 9 and they're really strong just going up the middle. We've worked on stopping their driving maul, which we saw at the end there, and I think we did a pretty good job of stopping it. We just got to work hard for another 40 minutes, and I think the guys got the job done.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much, Jack.
Thank you very much. Cheers,
guys.
Thank you, Sarah. Jack, happy man as his Arrows lead 12 points to 7 over Rugby United. We'll be back in a few more moments.
Another team red try. Team White ties it up. Fans, one more time. Let's hear it for the Toronto Toronto Arrows Rugby, a big welcome to Bayside High School. Parkside Collegiate, congratulations to Parkside CI.
This broadcast is brought to you by Cosmos, the Globe and Mail, and Honda. We'll come right back in a moment. 12 points to 7. Toronto Arrows leading Rugby United New York.
With Ron as head coach, Barry Central earned 9 offset championships and 11 medals over 25 years. The final tally was 377 wins, 29 losses, 5 ties, amassing 13,582 points and only 1,534 against. Ron additionally coached Barry RFC meetings and at the provincial and national level, including attending 2 junior world championships. Fans, a hearty congratulations to Ron on your retirement and best wishes to you and Kathy on the next stage of your life. Fans, help a big round of applause for Mr. Ron Andrews. And Arrows fans, we heard of our new Founders Club membership program. Don't miss out. Deal of the year. Listen to this. $160 all in. Get your tickets to every Arrows home game next year, plus many additional benefits. Make sure you visit the Founders Club booth just outside the East Gates for more details on how to become an Arrows Founders Club member. And a very happy 64th birthday wish to Peter Hector. Happy 64th birthday to Peter Hector from your friends, family, and the Toronto Arrows.
Welcome back to Lamport Stadium. It's been a cracking first half that sees the home side, Toronto Arrows, leading Rugby United New York 12 points to 7. Plenty of good highlights in that first half, kid. Let's take a look at some of them.
Well, the visitors on the board first. Rugby United New York 5 minutes in. Mike St. Clair able to dot one down. A beautiful run. And the wing on the blind side found some space. A conversion from Marsh made it 7-0, but a response from Toronto 10 minutes later. A long run from Levas, a beautiful offload to Moore, the captain. Dots it down. Sam Malcolm unable to split the uprights, but Toronto continued to press. In the final few minutes, Spencer Jones in for the try. No trouble on the conversion from Malcolm. There were opportunities for both teams to add to the point total, and this the best of the bunch. Rugby United at the very end of the half, but the knock-on St. Clair could not come up with his second try, and it remains 12-7 in favor of Toronto. Take a look at the reserves for both these teams. No changes in the reserves for Toronto from last week. That is pretty much the reserves we've seen from them. 4 changes on the bench for Rugby United New York. There's McIntosh, Wengalewski, Denise, all on the bench for Rugby United.
Yeah, let's go down to Sarah Davis on the sideline.
Hey guys, so it's a huge day in Toronto. This is the place to be right now. First of all, of course, we have the Toronto Arrows who are going for a playoff spot in their inaugural season. If they win today, of course, they're in. And then just down the street, the Toronto Raptors are playing Game 2 of the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. And Kawhi Leonard, he's been an absolute beast in this playoff series, averaging almost 31 points, almost 9 rebounds, and the fans in Toronto have been going absolutely wild in this area called Jurassic Park just outside the Scotiabank Arena. There's also rumored to be a lot of celebrities at Game 2 tonight, a lot of golfers in town for the Canadian Open, which is next weekend, so we'll probably see the likes of Brooks Koepka, Rory McIlroy at tonight's game. I've also heard there's a rumor that President Barack Obama may be at the game tonight because he had an event in Ottawa yesterday, and as we all know, he's a huge sports fan. Guys?
Thanks, Sarah. Well, let's send some of those velociraptors from Jurassic Park to get Leonard out playing some rugby in the next few years.
I think that'd be a heck of an idea, James. I know all the people you know through the world of sport, I'm sure you've been able to figure out a way to secure your ticket to tonight's match, so I hope you enjoy that.
That's a great occasion and a great venue. It's awesome to have a sporting facility right downtown.
It is, and the electricity and what it's meant here for the city of Toronto. First time the Raptors have been in the finals, and having this Toronto Arrows team just adds to the great sporting tradition. Teams like the Blue Jays, obviously the Leafs, and another great Toronto team here in the mix. Fantastic first 40 minutes, exactly what we anticipated, back and forth. Some unflicted errors on both teams, the handling errors. There were a chance to add to it and anticipate a photo finish in this match with the playoff spot on the line.
Be interesting to see if the halftime talk, there's been any changes to the way they play. Both sides have found a lot of purchase out wide. They've attacked well when they've run that second line attack and gone around the fringes.
I think patience will be key, and it says it right there, at least for the Toronto people. They're hoping for a chance to play for a title in their first year in Major League Rugby, as is Rugby United.
Marsh takes it cleanly at the back, bangs it back downfield. Good long kick. Neres finds Malcolm. Malcolm sees some space in the corner, able to find space. That is an excellent kick. Exquisite kick off the right book from Malcolm, sorry.
Deft touch there from Sam Malcolm. Sarah mentioned the Canadian Open. Well, think of a boot like that. Put Malcolm out there on a golf course. He absolutely dropped that one exactly where he wanted to. And field position big for Toronto. They know that possession is in favor of Rugby United. They like to keep ball in hand. So Toronto, they want to keep the ball deep in New York territory.
Good pressure. That was Gelini able to get his hand up. Sorry, no, it was the number 8. That was Campbell. So Toronto, first attacking opportunity of the second half.
Campbell's had an outstanding season. One of those players who flies under the radar.
A good little kick from Levas. Taken at the back, that is Foden. Met in a solid tackle by Moore. Just trying to work it away, build some phases, get some freedom for them to be able to kick. And it looks like Petrie is shaping. Wallace Sims off the left boot. He's got a good left boot. They use him a lot. Good attacking weapon with his foot.
What a luxury for Rugby United to have people like Foden, like Wallace Sims, caliber they have with putting boot to ball. Makes things that much easier when it's not just one man, but you have two who can kick effectively.
It takes the pressure off your 9. They box kick a lot. Petrie's kicked 68, 69 times so far this season. He's very good off the foot, but when they're expecting it around the fringes, it's very difficult. Doesn't look like there's been any subs made at halftime.
So miscue in the line out in the first half for Toronto. We'll see if they've cleaned things up.
Well taken by Moonlight at the front. Moore met in a solid tackle by Quill and Deacon. Charging round the corner is Shepherd. Lowers the shoulder, he's such a good runner. Better defensive line from New York to start the second half.
Out the space.
Slow ball. Laying out the back. Oh, read it like a book. There's Quill. will pick it off, and he's going to make it right underneath the goalpost.
John Quill, the blindside flanker, playing free safety there, almost daring the pass to be made. It was, and Quill off to the races. Fantastic start for Rugby United, who found the first try of the match, will find the first here in the second half and a chance to retake the lead. The second time we've seen something like this from Toronto. Quill just picks off the pass intended for more. It came from Giuseppe Dutois, and that is as easy a score as Quill will find.
Yeah, it was well done. Rugby United New York, you saw on the outside there, they checked their steps as the French defenders, the defending in 2s and 3s, and just able to push off there, and they've run out the back quite frequently. They're going to need to run it as straighten every once in a while to stop these players from coming in behind.
That's exactly right. So far, free reign from those players coming in from behind for Rugby United. Quill, known as the battering ram, has great power, has pace as well, as he showed it off there.
He's been a great proponent of the game in the United States. 27 caps as an Eagle. He's just a really good player to be around on the field. Very physical, but he leads by example. As we see Marsh add the extra point, so it's 14 points to 12. Rugby United New York come right back into this match with an early lead in the second half.
James, a match with as much on the line, as tightly contested as this has been, it may well be errors that decide the winner. And hopefully for Toronto, that is not the case, but a critical error early in the second half puts Rugby United on top.
Malcolm hangs one up in the sun. It's well taken by Brackley.
Mo!
Working the ball at the back. There is the try scorer. The ball is in his hands. Doing well here. Feeding back down the blind side. Good little quick tap. There's Wallace Sims with a left foot kick over the top. Where will this bounce? Bounces awkwardly straight into the hands of Petrie. He can't hold on. And it is just knocked on.
Petrie maybe tried to do just a bit too much. What a sequence from Rugby United. Give Connor Wallace-Sims a huge amount of credit. He came up with a pass that wasn't intended for him, but went through the fingertips of a teammate. He was able to secure it as we go back to look at his run. Beautiful little chip over the top. Tried to play himself into space. Petrie there, able to get on the end of it.
He's off the mark.
Just couldn't find a teammate from the ground.
Yeah.
If he was able just to hang on to that ball, it was all over from the arrows. There's plenty of support players there from Rugby United New York.
Time's off.
A little bit of a momentum swing. Before the first half ended, it was all arrows. Arrows were up on defense, they were up on attack. Just a couple of these plays for Rugby United New York. That's what you need to get into a match.
That's exactly what you want. You know better than anyone, sport is all about momentum. Toronto has it, having won 6 in a row, but they had it at the end of the first half. They were the better of the side, had more possession, but it's important to come out. Who takes control early in a half? So far, Rugby United really putting their stamp on this second 40 minutes.
Perhaps a little bit unlucky there. I thought Petrie had lost it, but he'd actually gone back to offload it, and it went directly into an Arrows player. So I don't think that was a knock on.
Time up.
Arrows get away with one there. They'll have a chance. Good solid platform to be able to clear their own territory.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Hold! And stay there, maintain.
That is picture perfect. What a platform as they choose to attack from the goal line. There's Dutois. Trying to set up a good platform for McKenzie. There's pressure. McKenzie goes off the box. Good box kick too. Probing towards the halfway line, and it bounces in awkwardly. Foden able to clean up at the back. And comes back with a good strong carry up towards the 22-meter line. Marsh steps, goes back on the inside. He's still moving. Quill, the try scorer, met in a crunching tackle by Shepherd.
Oh, Shepherd right there, having none of it.
Get with him,
Ryan and Mitchell. Not much happening there. Houston. Shepherd again coming off the line. He needs to roll away. And he hasn't rolled it away, so the penalty was there. He undid all the great work he'd done.
Shepherd outstanding defensively until that moment. Made two huge stops, crunching tackles, but not rolling away. You see Rugby United pounding ahead, drawing that Toronto defense in.
A little bit of a conversation here. We've talked about Rugby United New York not taking points, only 8 penalties taken all year.
Another look at Shepherd. Whistle was not rolling away. Tough sledding straight ahead. There is the whistle on Shepherd, makes the tackle.
I don't know how you roll away from that position.
I was about to say, he appeared trapped from my vantage point. And you see him arms up and no place for him to go, unable to roll away, but our referee, Helgen Williams, saw it otherwise.
So they do decide to take the 3 points. Great call. This is basically playoff rugby. You need to take any points available.
Absolutely. You're in this situation. You found the try. You have momentum. Retaking the lead after trailing 12-7 at the break, and Marsh a chance to tack 3 on. This would be a big 3 points if he's able to split the uprights.
Marsh, he is a very good kicker in his own right. Difficult position just outside the right-hand post. It's a hard line to kick if you're a right-footed kicker. Splits the uprights, adds 3 more points, 17 points to 12. Rugby United New York. It's been all United New York so far in the second half.
It has indeed. Marsh tacks on another 3 with the penalty goal. Now a 5-point advantage for the visitors. Taking some of that wind out of the sails of Toronto. Toronto, who conceded the first points of the game, an early try. They went down 7-0. They're able to respond quickly, and they will have to again here.
Taken cleanly at the back and picked up. Running away with the ball here. That is, I believe it's Houston. And New York on the front foot. It's where they like to play rugby. St. Clair does well, hanging on to the ball, but throws the ball right back in towards Levas.
Toronto making a change at scrum half, as it'll be Andrew Ferguson with the 21 coming on to take over for Jamie McKenzie.
Thank you.
He is an excellent sub to bring on. He's played well so far the last few weeks. And they're working the ball well. Shepherd comes down the left-hand side.
No, still playing.
It's still available there. There is Ferguson. Moonlight runs into a solid tackle from Quill, but just throws the ball back over the top.
No advantage.
No advantage, says the referee. We'll come back.
4 blue, offside.
Offside.
Thank
Against
you.
number 4, I think that's Cassidy.
Not a lot of drop off there in the 9 shirt as Ferguson comes on to take over for McKenzie. He's been the starting scrum half the last few weeks as McKenzie's been out due to injury. McKenzie got the start today, but will give way to Ferguson for the remainder of this match.
Not many teams have the option of replacing one international with another international on the bench. And that's what you see with this Toronto Arrows side. Their bench is incredibly deep.
It is, and that's been a large reason for their success because they've been able to bring players in and out. You had so many players missing on ARC duty, so many players representing Canada. You had players representing Uruguay. There wasn't a drop-off. They've had players away, Moonlight, who for his firefighting duties, players with day jobs. They've still been able to keep things going and win matches. One thing we've really seen in year 2 of Major League Rugby, the depth, that is going to be a huge factor. Teams that are in the playoff picture, it's because of depth.
Again, Messi at the line out. This Arrow side choosing to do far too much. But it is available. Ferguson to Mitchell. Met in a good tackle from Fawcett. Malcolm throws it out the back. Back on the inside. Here is Medes. Need patience here. Levas fends off St. Clair.
13 more.
Building phases. Comes charging onto the ball as Brower. York doing a good job slowing down the ball. Mitchell. Malcolm shows and goes himself. Taken a very good tackle by Fawcett. And over the top is Houston, and he does get the turnover. Fantastic work at the breakdown from Rugby United New York.
Player on his feet.
That is what you want if you're a Roosters fan. They've dominated the second half, and it continues here at the breakdown. Toronto looking good in this sequence. They were going through the phases. But a turnover by the Arrows. The Arrows not helping their cause in any way.
They're putting on a clinic, New York. They're defending very well in the second half. The ability for them to follow and chase up on the inside, they're not letting them get around anymore. And when they step back inside, they're meeting 1, 2, 3 defenders.
That's a great point, and that's exactly what they're able to do. It's not one that would-be tackler, it's 2 and 3 there to make sure to bring the man down. And you know this better than anyone, James. The changes at halftime, it's one thing to implement them, it's quite another to actually have them on the pitch, and that's what Rugby United has done. They went to the sheds, they talked about what they needed to do, and they've done a very good job of making it happen on the pitch.
Messi at the back. It is there and available. Leonard throws a tough old pass. Not much you can do there. So, attacking opportunity squandered, and it will be the Arrows. And it just looks like there's a little bit too much wind out of their sails at the moment. They just need to go back, build a few phases, get back on the front foot again.
Agreed. Just take their time, take a deep breath, and get back to what is Arrows rugby. Just be patient, get the passes out, no reason to force anything, keep possession. They know Rugby United likes to have possession. The easiest way to beat those teams, keep the ball away from them.
See some more fresh legs, eager to come on and make an impact. And we talked about depth, how many more games there are this season against last season. It's really evident sides that have depth are featuring heavily as we come towards the end of the season.
And it will be even more so next year with the addition of 3 new teams, Rugby, ATL, then obviously you have the Free Jacks in New England. You're going to have the Old Glory in our nation's capital, an Eastern and a Western Conference as it should be. Depth will be more important in year 3 than it has been.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold.
Strong platform again from the Arrows. Flat carry, Malcolm running hard at the line. Looks like it was taken slightly early there. Referee says no, forces the turnover. That's great work. Excellent tackle for Leonard. He read that like a book.
First 15 minutes of the second half have all been Rugby United. They are dominating, everything going their way, and changes made. Ches Wingalewski on for Rugby United, and USA Eagle number 531, a man on loan from Rugby ATL. More changes on that second row. As we talked about that, it's McDonald who's had the start. Cassidy gets it today, and now they will flip as Cassidy heads to the bench.
McDonald from Head, South Carolina. Life in Trinity College in Ireland. We've seen quite a few Trinity College players feature for Nyack in the last few years.
And Cal Marsh, one of those.
That's a good platform. It's not often you see this happen. And they get the penalty advantage. What a scrum from this New York side. Nice little kick over the top. How will this sit up? It sits up well. Wallace Sims does very well on the outside. The ball is still available. And he will come back. What about that heads-up play?
Beautiful kick from Marsh. Saw the opportunity to play it through.
Standing up.
Uncharacteristically, exactly. You're thinking that it's Toronto, the side dominated in the scrum right there.
Yeah,
incredible display from Rugby United in the scrum. Marsh through, picked up beautifully by Connor Wallace-Sims.
And an opportunity to take their lead even further. This one's from a handy position too for Marsh.
In this situation, you fully expected the tee to come out as it will. Marsh split the uprights his last opportunity. Did the 26-year-old Dublin native.
Cover quickly. Thank you.
Still time, plenty of time remaining in the second half, but you need to see signs of life if you're an Arrows fan.
just the energy that these reserves are bringing and the energy that this New York side has. Just like they've got that extra pep in their step. They're on the front foot, playing with a lot of confidence.
Whatever was said in the sheds at halftime, they have taken to heart. A different New York side than we saw in the first 40 minutes.
Marsh splits the uprights again. Adds another 3 points. 20 points to 12. How about that? Takes it outside a converted try as well.
That is the biggest thing about tacking 3 points on, as he makes it an 8-point lead. A converted try, not enough to tie. That was the reason you saw that T come out so quickly. New York knew what an extra 3 points would mean.
Fawcett finds Marsh. Bangs this one up towards halfway. Twinkle toes on the sideline. Here is Mears. He's been well bottled up this week, though. He was so dangerous last week. Shepherd.
A potent back line of Mears, Levas and Moore, few opportunities to get involved.
Ferguson calling them around. There's Fawcett. Oh, great line. Excellent work. Strong carry by Campbell. Arrows on the front foot.
Advantage side entry 15.
They do get the penalty advantage, incorrect entry, so they have a free play at this to see what they can do. Stabs in the little kick. Petrie comes back for it. And referee will come back.
Where's he? Where's the captain?
He's going to have a word to the captain
You
here.
got a scrum here or a penalty advantage back there? Scrum here, okay.
Well, no decision there if you're Toronto. The scrum, what it's been able to do for them, they will certainly take the scrum in that position. But a good ball and a great run from Campbell. Campbell, one of those guys who doesn't show up on the stat sheet as much as he should, but he has been instrumental in the Arrows' success this season.
It wasn't even stable and they had gone.
Of course, okay. Okay, we'll have a look at that.
Arrows do a very good job when they send those forwards around, able to attack off of the forwards. They're running very good lines, and the ability to interchange with your front rowers is crucial.
It is indeed. Some changes made from Toronto, as you saw.
Come forward.
Parfrey coming on. Pat Parfrey wearing the number 22, one of those new additions.
So,
Crouch.
it's the foundation of Arrows rugby,
Bind.
what every front rower wants. 5 meter scrum,
Set. Straight.
attacking
Hold.
ball. Ferguson. Here comes the push. Working the ball towards the goalpost. It does pop out the back. They do get an advantage for this here.
You have the advantage 9.
So they do get a free play. Moonlight met a solid tackle by Leonard. Cellini. Ferguson.
We're back.
Shepherd. Ball is still available. Referee is still playing advantage. Campbell met in a crunching tackle.
2 offside.
And another advantage. Dylan Fawcett crept up offside, so they will have another free play here. Probing around the fringes, Quatrin, and they'll come back for the penalty. And that is perhaps one too many infringements.
We'll have to see. And Quatcher that time couldn't hold on, but Toronto playing with house money. You saw the new front row addition, Keith, getting some carries. We'll see what more the captain elects to do. There is Cole Keith.
Which one did you want?
The big man with the fresh legs coming off the bench.
Is this one? This one's more in the middle?
Yeah.
Quatrin just couldn't make the one-handed grab.
Not yet, no. You can't do it inside the 22. You can't do it here.
So they will elect for another scrum. They did get the penalty advantage last time, so you can't repeat the same infringements too many times, and they could risk a penalty try.
That's exactly right. That is not something they want to concede in this situation.
Angle, please. Just go straight. Okay.
So far, it's been, by and large, cleanly played match. Haven't seen any yellow cards. Rugby United will have to clean things up or risk conceding that penalty try. This is what you want if you're Toronto. forward pack, chance to really show its strength.
Right, let's go, lads.
Converted try would make it a 1-point game.
You've got to score twice. They've turned down the points multiple times, uncharacteristic for this Arrow side. They feel like they've got the momentum behind their scrum.
Crouch!
This is a situation, you know, for both teams, if New York is able to get a stop here, that would be a huge boost. And conversely for Toronto, a try would give them the confidence that they are sorely lacking in the second half.
No stability. Stand up, please.
They will reset the scrum.
Okay.
In the earlier scrum, it was good to see New York. They put everything they could into resisting the push, but as you see, this strong Arrow scrum, they're very, very tight. They absorb that pressure, and then when they shove together, it's in unity.
I think Chance Wingalewski, the USA Eagle, the Oklahoma native and former Lindenwood man, making a difference on that front
Shoulders
row
out, all going straight.
for New York. Great size and great power.
Bind. Set.
Untidy again.
I'm happy with you two. Keep that standards, please, okay?
He's happy with one side of the scrum. He's going to head over to the other one. Now you watch this side of the scrum. They'll start playing up like second-hand lawnmowers.
If one side is doing its job, you can be sure the other is not.
So whoever's in front of the referee.
That's exactly right.
Work hard now, you two, okay? Feet strong,
Very cognizant
stay
of
straight.
the fact of where the man in pink is located.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay straight. Stationary, use it. Use it.
Oh, great scrum from Rugby United. But here comes Campbell charging around the right. The ball's available if they want to play it quickly. They do slow the ball down. Good defense.
7, good, you're fine.
Ferguson. Great tackle.
What a job defending from New York in the shadow of their own try line.
Lazo. Working the ball nicely, building phases. Malcolm calling Jones back on the inside, taking in a good tackle by Quill.
Push.
Great Cellini, driven through the tackle by Brower.
Advantage, 3 not rolling.
And they get another advantage, shooting up off the line. What can they do here? It is the reserve, number 22, Parfrey.
No advantage.
No advantage, so they'll come back right in front of the post. Will they elect to take points?
Okay.
I think at this point, just 15 minutes remaining.
Number 3 blue.
They will continue to go. Quick tap and go, Ferguson. Ferguson across. Great heads-up play from Andrew Ferguson. And he's able to dot it down for 5.
Oh, that's as sneaky as it gets from scrum halves. I think the Rugby United players were appealing that they're actually speaking to the referee at the time he took the kick, as you see Petrie here.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were saying. The Ontario native, 11 appearances for the Canadian national team. Ferguson has dealt with injuries in the past, but he is healthy this year. And sneaky, that is a compliment to scrum halves. Ferguson will gladly take it. Toronto happy to take the 5.
Thank you.
And good reward. Just able to build phases. By building phases, they're able to get multiple advantages. It's very hard to defend that close to your goal line.
They kept the pressure on. New York on the back heel, and Ferguson catches him off guard, and conversion up and through.
Malcolm makes no mistake of that. 20 points to 19. We'll be right back in a few moments. This is an absolute barn burner. New York, 20 points to 19.
Thank you. How long have you got in your clock?
Continuing our noise. Here we go again. Who wants a t-shirt? The people watching the crowd council, Toronto, and their partner,
got 14 minutes left. Okay?
Welcome back to Lamport Stadium, and this is an absolute cracker of a match. Rugby United
14.
leads Toronto's
14
Arrows
left.
20 points to 19. And I tell you what, they set an attendance record this
got
afternoon.
14 minutes left,
3,180 fans have showed up,
If you
and
can
they
read
are
it,
delighted with that last try.
Oh, they are indeed. What a response from Toronto. The first 10 minutes of the second half dominated by New York. Everything going their way. They came away with the try. Quill there, then Marsh.
Time on.
A response from Toronto when needed most. The try from Ferguson, the quick tap and go, the conversion from Malcolm, and it's a 1-point game.
Campbell sets off. Good strong carry. He's been very good so far this match. Ferguson finds Malcolm. Was taken outside. Malcolm can't put this into touch. He sends it straight back down to Deacon. Deacon, he's not going anywhere but straight. Good strong carry. Runs into Brower. Fawcett. Switching back down the blind side. It's Wallace Sims. Referee says it was a maul. Great work by the Arrows here. That's not coming out. Oh, good defensive work. Excellent strength.
Okay, chill out, please.
Fantastic from Toronto, and this is a Toronto side. We wondered if we would see they were down, not quite for the count, but they have gotten it back up. Another change on that front row. Steve Ing comes on.
Time off.
He will take the place of Quatcher and has the hooker.
John Quill getting some attention there.
James with as much on the line, a place in the playoffs. Final match of the season, of the regular season, I should say. This match on Super Sunday living up to the billing.
An absolute cracker so far. Indicative of finals footy. Rugby's only going to get better. The playoff series, of course, begins next weekend.
San Diego, the lone team who's already booked their spot in that Final Four. The question is, which three teams will be joining them?
Bind.
The only one that can figure that one out is probably Dan Moore. He's the only one with a high enough education to figure out
well put.
Now stay straight.
All of the different alternatives. As we see Ferguson. Finds Malcolm. Choosing to go wide. Good strong run by Mears. Campbell. Shooting back down the blind side. There is Moore. Taken in a good tackle by Petrie.
Of his foot, play on.
And it does come off the foot, so there is a turnover here. Taken away by McDonald.
What a turn there. Toronto at the halfway line turned it over inadvertently.
Sit down.
Attacking from depth. There's Matner. Finds Wallace Sims. Wallace Sims does well to get back to the gain line. Nice pass to Houston. He is held up again, though, in the tackle.
One out. Good.
Not much going here for this New York side. As McDonald carries strong again, but Metner, very solid tackle. Good quick hands. Here's Wallace Sims. Just fighting to even get back to the gain line. This Arrows defense not committing anyone at the breakdown. There's a white wall. Leonard steps hard off the right foot. Metner, good tackle by Cole, though. It's Ryan. Ball spits out. Marsh, and it does go forward. So, good patience on defense from this Arrows side.
Indeed, Toronto doing what they needed to do, getting numbers behind the ball, playing patiently, playing intelligently defensively, and rewarded.
As a defense, it's very interesting to watch. They only counter-ruck if they're on the front foot when it comes to a tackle. They do such a good job of fanning out. And another good thing is a lot of these front row forwards, they're not afraid of being an isolation island. They defend very well together with the backs.
It's something you don't see a lot of in Major League Rugby is the front row and how well they defend in those one-on-one situations. They're so disciplined, just making sure everyone is on the same page. Sarah mentioned it in the pre-game interview there, talking about Dan Moore, and he's just attention to detail, the captain, making sure everyone knows where they need to be and what their responsibilities are.
Set.
Toronto with it. 1 point
Okay, we just lost
deficit
our
to New
balance on
York.
the tight head side. Let's do it again.
Just under 13 minutes left in this match. It's going to be
All
quite
to
the
play.
finish.
All to play for this one. You never know what you're going to see in a match like this. We've seen a little bit of everything.
You see on the close side here, Brower. He's played deep. He's played a lot of minutes this year. His age definitely doesn't hold him back when it comes to, he's almost got the Iron Man award.
36-year-old, the Lindsay native, the former farmhand, didn't start playing competitive sports until he was a senior in high school. Didn't play any sports previous to that. He said he was too busy working on the farm.
Use it!
Great scrum.
Back.
Coming out the back. Stabs the kick in. Not a very good kick, but Moore does have the ball. He's got mirrors. Taken in a great tackle by Marsh.
Work.
The ball's available. Ferguson. Campbell.
Okay.
Good front football. This needs to go quickly. And they do have an advantage. Malcolm throws the ball over the top. Does find Levis. Levis! Moonlight! To the corner! Well taken by Foden. Try-saving tackle. Ferguson.
Advantage over.
Referee says advantage is over as they drive towards the goal line.
Short release.
Shepherd. Levis.
Backwards.
Everyone's having a go.
Backwards. Short release. Hands behind.
Probing to the right. The ball does flip out. It is lost forward. Here's Wallace Sims. An opportunity goes begging there for Rugby United.
No advantage, knock on.
Sorry for the Toronto Arrows. What a passage of play.
What a turn.
Happy.
It appeared that Moonlight off to the race and struck down just shy of the in-goal area. Another sequence of fantastic defending right at the try line for Rugby United.
Halfway line. Okay.
An opportunity missed, to put it mildly. Take another look, Ferguson. Toronto trying to submarine under the defending a stout wall from New York.
Yeah, 73, yeah.
Toronto just unable to break through. Shepherd, I thought he had it. It appeared he was at the line, but just short.
Guys, what are we doing?
Toronto went away from that forward pack, but that pot of forwards outside of 9, they got a little bit too wide. When you get that wide and you're that close to the goal line, it's very difficult to get that pass off in time.
Again, hats off to New York. We've seen some masterful defending.
Yeah, I'm finding out.
Another instance there.
Okay, free. You're coming off, please.
Changes made as here's both Levas and Moonlight headed to the bench for Toronto.
Number 1, is it, or number 3?
They get fresh legs for this final 10-minute push.
Who's coming off, please?
And you see
18,
Lloyd comes on, does Kai Lloyd for Moonlight. Marcella Wainwright, also a new addition.
Under 10 minutes left to go in this one. Everyone's on the edge of the seat. I know I am. This will be a massive scrum from the Arrows.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Use it.
Here comes the pressure. It will be reset.
Okay.
Wait till it sets before he puts the ball in.
Blue 6, I need you to stay on your second row, don't come up onto the front. Same for this side as well, please. Thank you.
Just talking to Quill there, he's trying to become the fourth front rower. That'll stop a scrum wheeling.
Quill, what an afternoon it has been for him. Blindside flanker and influential this afternoon as he has been all season long. He wants a chance to play another game and a chance to hoist that 80-pound shield as the champion of Major League Rugby.
Bind! Set!
Solid platform. Deacon heads off down the blind side. Petrie finds Fawcett. He's been well bottled up today, though.
Back foot. Use it! All behind, please. All behind.
Here's Petrie, shapes to box. Just able to relieve a little bit of pressure, but it will be an Arrows throw. Be interesting to see. They got a little bit too tricky in these lineouts. They just need to go back to simplicity.
Well, now with the change at hooker, as Ing is taking over for Quattro, and it'll be more important to see. This is Ing's first lineout. Don't anticipate them doing anything too tricky here, as you said. Just keep it simple.
Ing has some good pedigree behind him. He's spent some time down in New Zealand with Waimea Old Boys. Also made the Tasman Marcos under-19 side, so good experience from him as a youngster down in the home of rugby.
The Ottawa native. Talk about the growth of Major League Rugby and what it means, not just for the Canadian national team, the USA national team, but for rugby all across the Americas. You're seeing the Uruguayan influence. You see players from Chile, Brazil. And as this league continues to grow and improve, those national teams, they're going to be the benefactors.
Well, it's just a testament to the league when you have these marquee signings coming across. Turning down huge contracts in France to come experience the US lifestyle and play in a great competition.
They want to be a part of it, and you understand that they want a chance to make their mark on something new. The U.S. is a great place to live. That's a large reason they want to be here, bring their families. But for the players, they really get to be part of something special very early in its kind of nascent stages.
Did we make the change yet? Okay. No, we're waiting for this change here.
So we're set for a massive 5 minutes. 1 point ball game.
Okay, we're just going to hang fire a second and see what's going on.
I think Patrick Ryan wants to leave the field.
Here's Ryan. Wingalewski back on in that front row.
They're on the line? Blue is on the line, so take the gap you need.
Talk about the growth of rugby. You have a player like him coming from Oklahoma, not traditionally a rugby hotbed, but he's represented the U.S. national team.
Well taken at the back.
Use it, the touch!
Does go straight to ground.
Use it!
Good, strong carry. That was Kai Noah. Shepherd. Breaking the gain line. This is where they're dangerous. Met a solid tackle by Breakley. There's Ing.
Move! Push.
Patience is important here. Still driving is Cole. Shepherd. Plenty of touches for him today. Changing direction. Cole again. Trying to set a platform to run quick ball.
Leave it go.
Trying to milk a penalty. Ing. Good carry by Ing. Getting to the outside shoulder of Quill. Excellent patience. They can't give away a penalty here. Brower.
Daylight. Daylight, lads.
There's Ing again. Good low center of gravity as he drives forward. Ball is available. Shepherd. Assisted by Brower.
Back foot.
Cole again. Driven back into the ruck.
Move.
Slow ball. The drop kick. It's up, and it goes through. How about that experience from Sam Malcolm? They're trying to draw the penalty. They didn't need it. Ball goes straight back to him, and they take the lead. 22 points to 20.
Something you rarely see the big men up front doing their job. Patient, not committing penalties. Back to Malcolm, Sam Malcolm. The drop kick through, no trouble. Toronto has retaken the lead. The final few minutes of the match, and it's 22-20 Arrows.
Okay,
this is exactly what we thought this match would end up being. Great patience on attack by the Arrows. So we see it bang it deep. Campbell comes away with it again. Carries strongly again, making gain line.
Go, Jimmy, go, Jimmy!
Cole.
Off feet 5.
Toronto just wants to be careful not to commit any penalties. Keep ball in hand, be patient with the lead.
2.5 minutes left. They're in closeout stage. Lazo. They won't be in any hurry here. Brower.
Arriver. Yeah, of course, I know.
Campbell.
Off feet. Pillar, step back.
Ings.
6 off feet, there you go. 6, release.
Oh, unlucky. Quill thought he could turn the ball over, but the referee was very deliberate in his communication.
Daylight on the offside line.
You see Quill.
2 offences.
Glad he was able to turn it over indeed, but Elgin Williams.
2 minutes left.
That was not the case, and with 2 minutes left, Arrows fans on their feet.
Let's go, please.
The change coming.
Off feet and offside.
How big is this turn? Arrows fans know they're just about 60 seconds away from heading to the playoffs in their first year in Major League Rugby.
Keep them up as well.
Some of the difficulties they've had at line out, I'm surprised they took the option. There's a strong platform there. They can easily wind down the clock for 2 minutes.
A bit curious the decision there, but we'll see if it pays off. Team that spent their first 8 weeks on the road, they said it really helped them actually, that they had to bond as a team. You spend that much time with your teammates, you're all on the same page. By the time they came home, they were a cohesive unit. We've seen that with 6 wins in a row and just 1 loss in Toronto. The elder statesman Brower heads to the bench, gets an ovation from the fans, what he has meant to this side, and as he gives away to Lynott.
Thank you. Contact in the air.
They do get the penalty against them. Contact in the air. Perhaps a little desperation at this stage.
30 seconds. I need to see a kick. Yeah.
They have 30 seconds and they are talking the scrum.
Option. Scrum call.
A good option by the Arrows.
Sorry.
I don't think that's the right decision with such little time remaining and as dominant as their scrum has been. They're able to win this one, get it back, but boot the ball. That way may well do it.
How about this Arrow side? They started on the back foot in the second half, and they just fought. That's an experience of having all those international players and the depth of their bench. They stayed in the game. They showed patience.
They were up 12-7 at the break. They conceded. A try and a converted try, and then the 2 penalty goals to Marsh. They trailed 20-12 before battling back. They've kept New York scoreless since the 57th minute.
That's time.
Another solid platform, and that is full time. The ball will be kicked out by Ferguson, and there you have it. Toronto Arrows book their place in the finals, the semi-finals, 22 points to 20. What a match.
What a match indeed. Incredible stuff, back and forth, all you could hope for between these 2 talented teams, both in their first year's franchises in Major League Rugby, but it'll be Toronto who heads to the playoffs.
Thanks, Mike. Cheers.
We'll be right back in a few moments. What a finish. Toronto Arrows, 22 points. to 20 over Rugby United New York.
From the arrows early, bounced on the line, just as someone like ran in front of me, and I was like, I lost sight of their ball. I can't hold it. I checked it a couple of few seconds later, I was like,
You see that guy who talked to me, spoke to me at the end of the game?
Victory. Your Toronto officially clinch a playoff spot.
Welcome back to Lamport Stadium, where the record home crowd witnessed their side, the Toronto Arrows, coming out victors 22 points to 20. Let's go down to the sideline where Sarah has Sam Malcolm with her.
Hey guys, yeah, here with Sam Malcolm. He wants to get in the team picture. Just real quick, Sam, how were you able to find a spot with that drop kick and put your team ahead for the win?
To be honest, it was more so the forwards work. It was just being patient and getting us in the right areas of the field. Away we had to make an easier kick, so we had to build momentum in the middle of the field. And yeah, I was just fortunate enough that struck it well and it went through the sticks.
And just one more question, your team able to hold on to that patience there at the end? New York was showing great defense. How are you guys able to do that?
Oh, I think it's been work on for us from the start of the season to now. We're going to come into the playoffs next week, and defence is going to be critical for us to hold teams out, and I think we showed that today. But we've still got things to work on. There are a few little mistakes that cause them to score points. Review the game and look forward to next week.
Well, congratulations, Sam. Go enjoy the celebration with your team. We look forward to seeing you guys in the playoffs. Welcome. And guys, we are going to try and talk to a coach, so just hang tight for a second. Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, well done. Excellent patience, and they booked their spot in the semi-finals. The second team to book their spot in the semi-finals so far. Kit, well deserved. Patience is the key word there.
Absolutely is, and they've been that way all season long. You take a look at their league standings, and now we have 2 of the 4 in San Diego, joined by Toronto. They are in the playoffs. The question is, who joins them? You see Rugby United there with 54 points after the loss. Seattle, NOLA, all still in the mix. And we'll see what those final 2 teams are.
Yeah, NOLA knows exactly what they have to do at this stage. They need to win or lose with 2 bonus points. We're going to go back down to the sideline with Sarah, and she's with Mark Winokur, the general manager.
Hey guys, yep, here with Mark Winokur, the GM of the Arrows. Things were looking a little nerve-wracking throughout this game. It was just so tight. What was going through your head there at the end before the Arrows took the lead?
Just so many emotions. I mean, so much riding on it, and I don't think it could have been any closer. It was the same as the game in New York, which ended virtually on the last play. but just so proud of our guys. We had to win 7 straight to get in the playoffs. We did that. Record crowd. I mean, it's just a big moment for our franchise, obviously the biggest yet.
Absolutely, and an unusual way to play a season. Your first 8 games on the road, then your second 8 at home. What do you think led to this 7-game streak?
Just confidence. The guys are really comfortable with each other now, and I think they just believe in the plan, and there's no finger pointing. It's just let's get on with it. That suits us very well. It's a good club culture, and the fans have been great. Just coming back here, playing in front of 3,000 fans every week has just been amazing.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Enjoy this win. And what a way to end the regular season.
You bet, boy. I'll tell you, that's something else. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. And guys, a record attendance here today, as you mentioned earlier.
Thanks, Sarah. Fantastic stuff. Again, they booked their place in the finals. 2 semifinals have been decided. On behalf of myself, Kip McConico, and the rest of the broadcast team, thanks for tuning in.